Was this the worst launch yet by Colourpop? Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Lauren and welcome to the channel. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. And if you're returning and you already hit that subscribe button, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Today, we are talking about the rather infamous Colourpop Twilight launch. Yes, Colourpop came out with a collab with Twilight, which the movie, not the books, which is kind of interesting. Either way, I'm pretty sure the first movie came out like 20 years ago. I did not think there would be a lot of hype around this collection. Like, I know Twilight was huge, right? But I did not think that it would sell out in minutes. But it did. And people were mad. People were so mad. Now, if you go right now to any Colourpop post about this collection, you're gonna see a lot of people saying, I was in line with my cart full, waiting to check out on the website, and things sold out while I was waiting to check out. But Colourpop came up with the solution, right? They said, hey, you know what? Ulta's gonna be selling it in a few days. Look for that launch. I guess there was some sort of miscommunication because people thought that the collection was launching on the 14th on Ulta's website at 12 Central Time PM. And I believe it came out 12 Central Time AM. Either way, I'm lucky enough to have a friend here on YouTube who she has to remind me when things launch because I forget. I forget. I had an alarm set for the launch at 9 in the morning. I was gonna miss it because guess what? It launched and it sold out again on Ulta site in 15 minutes. I think people said 15 minutes. Now I managed to snag it thanks to my friend, but it was a little bit it was close. It was close. Now, I didn't pick up the whole collection, but what we're going to be talking about today is going to be the Twilight eyeshadow palette, and it looks like this. Da-da-da. You can see beautiful stills. Oh, just put my finger in it. Lovely. Beautiful stills from the movie on it. Okay. Next up we have, I am going to be sparkly today, which is going to be very on theme. We also picked up both of the highlighters because I love Colourpop Super Shock highlighters. And I did pick up two of the eyeliners as well. These are liquid eyeliners. I have the color Vampire and Forever. I believe one is like a maroon, like a dark red, and then the other one is a green. What's interesting is the outer packaging does not match the inner packaging. So it doesn't really give you a sign as to what the colors are, but that's okay. These are what we are playing with today. The collection also came out with a body oil. It did not need to shine like a diamond, a la Edward. It just, I wasn't gonna use it. It's not my thing. And then it also came out with lip oils. And we have a substitute lip oil because I'm on a lip oil no buy right now. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So we have something that's a little bit similar, but not quite the same from the collection. Either way, what we're gonna do is we are gonna swatch this palette and we're gonna do a look. And we are gonna see if this hype and the anger generated by this launch was worth it, or if it's something that you can totally skip. So let's get into the swatches and then let's get into the look.
Okay, let's get into these swatches. Kitty wants to join if you can hear him in the background. First we have Edward. Unconditionally. Let me go over Edward one more time. This is one of those like super sticky shimmers. I actually like how they look on the eyes. Prom Night. Immortal. This one is another one of the kind of stickier shimmers. Ice Cold, which is very, very light, even on me. Say It Out Loud. The Collins. Lion and Lamb. 17, Moonlit, Impossibly Fast. Bella. Irresistible. Oh, that's really pretty. Irrevocably. And Forever Young. That is the Twilight palette swatched. Okay. Let's get into the look.
So I'm only gonna do one look today. I'm gonna have a couple other looks up on my Instagram. They're not up there yet. They will be up there this weekend. My 2024 resolution, more or less, was to post on my Instagram because it's a little barren right now and I just am terrible at posting on Instagram. But that's gonna change. We're gonna do more looks there. But we're just gonna do a simple look here today, one that I really want to try out. After swatching the palette, I think this is like a typical Colourpop formula in the best of ways. So I'm not super worried about anything performing. I've played with all these kind of formulas from Colourpop before, and I didn't notice any weirdness when I was swatching them. So I'm pretty confident in saying that this is one of their better formulas. I'm glad, or else people would be even angrier about this whole collection. But what I really want to do is a simple green look. I love a good green look. I saw a couple online that I was just like, oh, beautiful, love it. But we're gonna start by going into 17 here, and I am just gonna put that one kind of all over my eyes. We're gonna do a little bit of a halo look today because I love a good halo look. And I do a lot of halo looks for work. Like that's kind of what my go-to is because they're so easy and they take like no time. So did you get this collection? Did you want this collection? Were you bummed when it just launched and nobody knew and then it's sold out and now there's a bunch of people selling it online for exorbitant amounts of money? I really thought about it. I was like, do I really want to keep this collection? Do I want to do a video on it? Even though I bought it with my own money, I was like, are people gonna be mad that I got it? And they didn't. I don't know. But then, you know, on the other hand, I was like, maybe it'll suck. And then I can show them that, hey, this was horrible and you didn't need it in the first place. But maybe it'll be great. Maybe this is a color story that you really need in your life. Or you're a huge, huge fan of Bella and Edward. I asked one of my best friends, I asked her, hey, Colourpop is coming out with a Twilight collection. Should I review it? And it was quite a loud yes. I mean, it was over text, but I could tell it was loud. She has always been a fan of Twilight. She got me to read the first book. Didn't really feel the need to read the other books in the series, to be honest. I was a bit, well, I was an English major when I read it, and I was like, wow, this is no, what was I reading at the time? God, I don't even know. But, you know, snooty college kid. And still, it's not really my cup of tea, to be honest. There wasn't quite enough, too much romance for me. I like a little more plot-centric stories, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I've never been a huge Twilight fan, but I will say, I actually do like the color story. It's dark and stormy. I feel like that fits the movie vibes pretty well. And granted, I haven't seen the movies, but I've seen enough clips of the movies to know that they put like that kind of filter on everything that makes it look gloomy. Even if the sun was shining beautiful and bright, it would still look gloomy. Okay, next what I want to do is I want to deepen the edges just a little bit. So we're going to go into Impossibly Fast, which turns out is a dark green, which I didn't know that until I swatched it. So the more you know, the more you swatch, right? I have been, me and my friend here on YouTube, her channel is Beauty and the Beaker. We have been kind of watching the drama unfold with this collection, and the comments on the posts, both Ulta and Colourpop's, anything promoting this collection, oh, it's been rough. Like, I feel really bad for whoever manages their social media accounts. Now, I'm only on Instagram. I follow them on Instagram, so I'm not sure how bad it is on the other platforms, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was just as bad. So I do feel bad for them because I don't think they expected it to be like this either, because when they originally released the palette, what the palette was going to look like a little sneak peek, people were like, oh, well, I don't need that. That doesn't look interesting at all. So it didn't seem like a lot of people loved it, but it's like, you know, Gen Z, are they like huge fans of Twilight? Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm not on TikTok enough to know, and I don't know if I want to know. Like, I'm okay being a little bit in my own oblivious world, right? Though I will say I do need to post on my TikTok more as well. I will have that linked down below if you're curious. I try to post different content on every single platform when I post on other platforms, but you know, it doesn't always happen as regularly as I want. Okay, so you know what I have to go into. Lion and Lamb, which I think is a multi-chrome, if I'm seeing it correctly. It's got a little bit of a shift to blue. I think it's got a little bit of a shift to purple. It's hard to catch though. It's not quite as clear as some of the multi-chromes that I have in my collection. So I'm gonna just go in with my finger because I think that's gonna be the best. This is what this one looks like. Let me see in a mirror. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of some color changiness in there, but I'm just gonna pat it all over my lid because this was the color that kind of sold me on this palette. Now, you could ask me, Lauren, but is that a unique color? Do you have that in your collection? I don't know if I have this exact color in my collection. I don't want to say that I don't have it, but I don't, off the top of my head, know if I do have it. It's like snake green, and I do like it quite a bit. It's pretty. I'm gonna go into Say It Out Loud, and I'm going to just put that one underneath my waterline. I originally wanted to go into that gray, but that gray is very light, and I don't think it's gonna be very impactful, at least on camera. Ooh, okay, we are dealing with some fallout. That is also a very light color. It was interesting because I saw some swatches where everything looked super deep and pigmented. Well, deepish for its color, you know, but it is pretty light, to be honest. I'm pretty gentle with my shadows too. I'm not like digging in. I mean, I can see it. Like this color is a good transition color, but it's not necessarily a very deep color, you know? Words. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm a little tired, but I really wanted to review this. Really quickly, I want to go into Ice Cold. This one up here, and I want to put that just kind of in the inner corner of my eye, as well as a little bit on my brow bone, because I think that would look nice. Kind of puts a little bit on my finger. I'm going to dig into it a little bit, just to get a little more impact on the inner corner. Okay. So that's the look. It was super easy to do, and so far I do like it. But I think we need to go into one of these liners. So let me show you the ones that I got real fast. So we have Forever, which is this kind of dark green, which is probably what we're going to be using because I don't really want to look like a Christmas tree, and I'm pretty sure this color Vampire, yeah, it's gorgeous. But red and green, I don't know if I really want to do that with this look. So I'll have to save this one for a look for Instagram. So again, look out for that. But I'm going to go in, and for my top liner, I'm going to use, I already forgot the name, Forever. We're going to see how it is. I did swatch these earlier, and they're pretty liquidy, so I'm not quite sure how it's going to look. You can't really see it at all over this look, unfortunately. I mean, it's possible it's just blending in too much with this look. Okay, let me go in underneath. Is that better? Definitely don't like it up here. Okay, I think this look needs black eyeliner. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted the green to look, I don't love the green, so I'm gonna go in with black liner. I'm also gonna go in with my Tower 28 mascara, and then I'm gonna show you what the look looks like. Okay, this is the look. I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. I like it quite a bit. But let's move on to the highlighters because I love Colourpop Super Shock highlighters. So the two highlighters are in Meadow, which is more of a pinky highlighter, and then we have Vampire Skin, which is much more of a silver, and it's very pretty. And I'm gonna swatch both of these for you just so you can get an idea of what they look like. Because I want to touch them, and I also want to know what they look like. So let's go into Meadow first. This is what it looks like. Nice before I put my fingers into it. Ooh. Okay. Very pretty. It's got definitely a very pink sheen to it. So that is the first one. And then we have Vampire Skin, which again looks like this. So more of a silver. Okay, kitty, sit down. Looks like that. Sorry, I have a cat here and he just does not want to sit down. So very, very silver. So two very different highlighters. While we're here, might as well go into both, right? I'm gonna start by going into Vampire Skin. I'm kind of hoping I can layer Meadow on top of it, but let's see. I just love how creamy their Super Shocks are. Not sponsored. Wow, okay. I don't love this one as much as I thought I would. It's almost got a little bit of a gray cast to it. Which I guess works if you're a vampire, but not as much on my skin. Yeah, it's got some chunkier pieces of shimmer in it too that look like they're blue. It's actually pretty. It's pretty, but not always my favorite. Okay, let's go ahead and go into Meadow next. So again, this one is the pinky one. Yeah, okay, they layer nicely on top of each other. I think I kind of like them more combined than I do separate. Let's do a pink nose. Okay, I hope you're able to see the pinkiness shine through. The silver is pretty strong, but that pink color is really pretty. You can probably see it a little bit better on this side. Okay, now, again, I did not pick up the lip oils. I kind of want them, but I don't need them. So we are gonna instead, because there was a black lip oil, we're gonna go into the Blend Bunny Sugar High Tinted Lip Oil in Black Sugar, since I already had a lip oil that was black. This one's a little bit of a black gray color, but it'll work, I'm sure. I don't need another lip oil. Okay, this is the completed look. What do we think? I will say, I like how it all turned out. I do. But let's go over the whole collection and I will tell you about my thoughts about all the different pieces of it and let you know if you missed out on it or if you need to buy it when they come out with it again, because they will. They already said that they are going to do a restock. So do you need it? Do you need it when they restock? Let's first start with what I think is the best part of the collection, which would be, of course, the eyeshadow palette. You know I'm an eyeshadow girl, so of course, the best thing better be the eyeshadow palette. Now, do you need this? Do I like it? I like it. I actually do like this eyeshadow palette. I think everything performed really well. I think this is kind of the classic Colourpop formula, the good classic Colourpop formula. I like that there's a bunch of different kind of textures in here. We have some of the shimmers that are a little bit stickier, which they've been coming out with in their recent palettes, which I actually really like that formula. I think Lion and Lamb is such a pretty color. It doesn't have a mirror on it, so if that's important to you, that's just something that you can take into account. But I liked the mattes. I think they performed really well. You know, unconditionally, I don't know how well that color itself is going to show up on my skin. It's very light, but Say It Out Loud was kind of similar. It's very light, but I can see it on my skin. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but they are pretty light. But I could tell that the darker ones, like Impossibly Fast, but the one we used to deepen up the eye look, that one was really good. It was really pigmented. It wasn't patchy at all. It was a really nice dark color. So I'm glad that they have a variety in here. I'm actually really excited to use the Collins because I saw someone on Instagram do a beautiful look with it. Now I need to do a beautiful look with it. But I actually really like the eyeshadow palette. I think they did a really good job. And from what little I've seen of the movies, again, I haven't watched the whole thing, so I know I'm terrible, but I feel like this color story works. I do. I think it's capturing like the glittery aspect of the vampires, because you know, they glitter when they're in the sun, which who doesn't want to glitter when they're in the sun, right? And I think it kind of catches those darker, moody, darker toned colors that they decided to use to overlay everything, which was a choice. Definitely was a choice. But I think it fits, right? Okay, now onto the liquid eyeliners. Now I do want to play with these a little more, but I kind of agree with my first assumption from when I saw them swatched on Instagram, is that they are just too watery for me. It's hard to get a good pigmented line. You have to keep going over it, and I just don't think it gives the pigment that I want or like or prefer. So these I think would be an easy pass if you were interested in picking up the collection. I don't think you need these. I don't think they've done anything original with these. So yeah, I'd say these are a pass. The highlighters, I do feel very shiny. Now with the silver one, which is Vampire Skin, it does have a little bit more color to it. So it's not necessarily the best color or my preferred color on my skin because it's giving it a little bit of a gray tone, which is not something that I really want in a highlighter. I think if I played around with it more, maybe I could sheer it out so that it's not as gray. But I actually, the more I look at it, the more I like it. So I think actually combining the two kind of did the trick for what I want. It is very glowy. It's their typical Super Shock shadow where it's got quite a lot of glow and brightness and shininess, right? So it's not a subtle highlighter at all. There are some larger pieces of pigment in them, so larger pieces of sparkle that I believe are blue. Oh my God, my eyesight is so bad. I'm pretty sure it's blue, but I think it's giving it kind of like a bluish grayish aspect, which again is not necessarily the choice for me, but it, you know, I tried it. It's not my favorite just because of the color, but it is a great formula. On the other hand, I really like Meadow. Meadow has a lot less of a base pigment to it. It's more transparent, which works better on my skin, and it's very pink. It's got little gold reflex in it, and I kind of love it. So this one's excellent, but again, not subtle. I wouldn't wear this one like to work. I like to do a little bit more of a subtle look, subtle highlighter. I still do a highlighter because I love it, but this one is just kind of a lot for the day, I think. So is it unique to Colourpop? I don't think it is though. They have a pretty extensive Super Shock collection. So I don't think either of these colors by themselves are unique. Do they fit the Twilight theme? You're gonna have to tell me that. So let me know. Overall, I did really like the palette. I like the quality. I like the color story. I think all the other stuff in this collection is stuff that you can probably pass on unless you're a huge Twilight collector or if you're a fan of these tones. And I will say you can pick up the lip oil. I couldn't because I'm on a no buy with lip oils. I couldn't do it. I could not do it, but those actually look pretty good. But I would say pass on the liquid liners. Pick up the Super Shock highlighters if these are colors that work for you, if you're interested in these colors. But if you don't think these are gonna work for you, then don't pick them up. You don't need them. Colourpop's gonna come out with more. Actually, I just saw that they announced that their Valentine's Day collection. So I'm like, oh, just hide me. I don't need any more. I don't need a Valentine's Day collection, but they're already launching more. So, you know, just know they're always gonna be coming out with new Super Shocks, which is great because I love the formula, but this color in particular, just not my favorite. And then this one, I just have to find the time and the place to use it. So yeah, that's my overall thought on this collection. Was it worth that so many upset people? I don't think so, but maybe I'm underestimating the power of Twilight. If you think I am, let me know down below. I'm gonna go. I'm very happy with how I'm looking, and yeah, I'm gonna go live the rest of my night because again, it's like 10 o'clock at night, so I'm probably going to sleep soon. But I will see you all in my next video. Bye!